Hello viewers, thank you for watching my views and news. A video about Tigray for you because several new developments unfolding in Tigray. Conspiracy theories are being propagated. It is being claimed as if a conspiracy is being hashed against Getachew. Some say a conspiracy against TPLF has been launched. An attempt is being made to overthrow the government. What is the situation on the ground? Is there any conspiracy against TPLF in Tigray, or is there any conspiracy against Getachew, maybe backed by TPLF leaders? We'll try to analyze the rapidly changing situation in the Tigray region. Firstly, when Getachew was nominated by party's central committee as candidate for Tigray's interim president around 6 months ago, Getachew faced stiff resistance from within the party, though he managed to win in party vote, but with just one vote lead he was chosen as party's candidate. And people like LM Wahid, Munjarino, some said Debratzian too, they opposed Getachew. Why? They wanted all TPLF group of leaders to continue. Getachew was finalized by the party as candidate. PMRB approved Getachew's nomination. PMRB appointed him as Tigray's interim president. And since PMRB had rejected Debratzian as candidate for Tigray interim presidency, that is why when Getachew took office, we saw start of a campaign against Getachew, as if he was pro-PMRB, as if he was PMRB's candidate. And some from TPLF were backing that campaign to make Getachew controversial. And if you remember, at a meeting between Getachew and TPLF workers, some TPLF workers chanted slogans against Getachew after he had been elected and he had started working as a Tigray interim president. So yes, there were elements in TPLF which opposed Getachew, but things changed. I think within the last 2 to 3 months, things changed. We saw a rapprochement between Getachew and TPLF, other TPLF leaders. And we started seeing Getachew with LM Wahid, with Debratzian. Getachew invited them to all the major events in Makale. Sadkan maybe played a role too, but when Sadkan was abroad, things changed, he returned. And since then, we've been seeing reconciliation between Getachew and senior TPLF leaders. Then who is behind this unrest in Tigray? Political unrest. TPLF is being challenged. Is TPLF senior leadership behind this unrest to remove Getachew? Or there are other players which want to remove TPLF, which want to weaken TPLF. A few hours ago, Alula Solomon spoke, founder of Tigray Media House from diaspora, and he criticized Tigray interim government. He said no one in Tigray knows if he or she will be able to return home safely. He can be a target of a knife attack. Stones can be thrown too. There is no security. Tigray government is a failure. This is being said by Alula a staunch supporter of TPLF. And since yesterday, for the last 2 days, we have been seeing criticism, severe criticism against Getachew's government from diaspora. Diaspora has been overwhelmingly pro-TPLF. Opposition parties had no significant standing in diaspora community. But what Makale police did on Thursday, on Wednesday and Tuesday, it led to change of mind on the part of Tigrayan diaspora. Tigrayan diaspora community is now criticizing Getachew's government without pulling any punches. Makale police brutally attacked opposition parties, workers, journalists, scholars, teachers, demobilized TDF members, all were beaten unprovoked. Police was unprovoked, but it thrashed these political workers who were holding a peaceful protest. Getachew tried to justify this action by holding a press briefing on Wednesday, but even his remarks could not satisfy the people. Diaspora is criticizing TPLF. As I said, what Lula said, and then we saw that before the start of this protest in Makale, head of Tigray security, Lieutenant General Fisya Kidano, passed very strict orders that no tolerance for this protest. This protest is meant to overthrow the government. That is why police used brutal force against these protesters. Now, question, is there a conspiracy against Getachew from TPLF, or conspiracy or an attempt to weaken TPLF? Well, Getachew's recent talks indicate as if he is not sure who is behind the groups which want to paint interim government as a failure. He has some doubts that maybe from his party people are there, people are backing the other parties, opposition parties, TDF members. But my assessment, viewers, is that right now Getachew's fall would be TPLF's fall. All the criticism against Getachew's government is basically against TPLF. Getachew is TPLF. He is not just Getachew. He is representing TPLF. Right now, TPLF is united behind Getachew. TPLF knows if Getachew goes, it would be a serious blow to TPLF's political dominance, which has been in place in Tigray for decades. And TPLF held a meeting, senior level meeting, before this protest in Makale, and there some decisions were made. Main decision was that opposition should be crushed. Opposition wants to fuel conflict by backing TDF members, by backing those classes of society which are facing problems because of suspension of aid, because of no decision about return of IDPs, etc. So TPLF decided to take strong action against opposition parties. Opposition parties are obviously playing politics. They know that Getachew's government is helpless. Getachew cannot ensure return of IDPs. Getachew government cannot do anything about the territories disputed. Nothing can be done by Getachew's government alone. Getachew's government and federal government, they can jointly make decisions. Federal government dragging its feet a little. Why? Because of the conflict in Amhara, while government cannot rush things. So, opposition knows this is the right time to strike a blow to TPLF, to the Tigray interim government. Why? Because people are not happy with the performance of the government. And secondly, TPLF could not ensure merit, transparency and equality, democracy, everyone knows, in Tigray. Ruling elite seems to be above law. Tigray People Liberation Front leaders, TDF channels, they are above law. That is what TDF members, opposition parties say. On the one hand, people are suffering, they don't have enough food to survive on. On the other hand, ruling elite members are enjoying the perks and privileges of being in power. There is anti-government. That is why TDF members protested 3 or 4 times so far. They say that they fought for Tigray, for the people of Tigray, but now just a certificate given to them and a few thousand birds, and they are on their own. No one there to support them. While TPLF leaders, TDF channels are moving around in vehicles with no tags, with no plates. They are getting preferential treatments in markets, in bars, etc. So that is why they are turning anti-TPLF. I think there is no conspiracy against Getachew. TPLF knows that it has very limited space to deliver at this point of time. TPLF does not to abolish the culture of favoritism, and it wants its favorites to be leading, to be in top positions. This practice is being challenged by opposition parties. Opposition parties know this is the right time to weaken TPLF. Diaspora starting to support opposition parties. Now, final point. While TPLF is not behind this unrest, which is challenging Getachew's government, Getachew could be scapegoated. Maybe TPLF needs a scapegoat to survive. All the failure of the government could be put on Getachew, and Getachew could be removed. It could be a way of pacifying the people who have resentment, who are not happy with the performance of the government. So that is how I see the unrest in Tigray. I think Getachew will have to think like a politician, like a statesman. He should be in touch with opposition parties. He should form a platform for talks with opposition parties. He should hold public discussion with opposition parties. He shouldn't rely on TPLF. On government level, he should form a platform for open public discussions with TDF members, with opposition parties. That is the way forward. Otherwise, you will see more challenges for Getachew's government. And I monitor all ethnic groups, their activists, their journalists, neighboring countries to Eritrean activists on daily basis are sharing pictures, videos from Tigray saying that Tigray is a failed region, no government. Yes, crime rate rising, insecurity on the rise. These challenges must be handled by Getachew's government, and he'll have to confront people in power, maybe from his party too, who are not used to accountability. And he said, by the way, on Wednesday, that secret prisons have been discovered in Tigray, unknown to Tigray government. Who is in charge of these prisons? People in power. from TPLF or from TDF. So Getachew is in a difficult position. Let's see how he handles this situation in Tigray. Thanks for watching.